What's up, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube exclusive. I'm your host, Drew, with my other host over there.
What's up? It's D. Good to see you again. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and drop some comments and go ahead and subscribe to this channel. We are dropping quite a bit of content this week and moving forward. Plus, is the playoffs. So, go ahead and do that.
Yeah, we're going crazy for quarterbacks over here this week. We're going to talk about a couple today. The AFC East, outside of Josh Allen, because he's still in the playoffs. But we're going to talk about these other guys. We got Tua. We got Mac Jones. We got Zach Wilson. And add in all their backups. We got a lot of quarterbacks in that situation over there in those teams that did play. And what do you want to touch on first? The Tua concussion thing. Is he going to come back? Fifth year option. We got Mac Jones supposedly was reaching out to outside help to try to fix the offense, and he doesn't click with Belichick. And then we got Zach Wilson coming out saying that if they sign a veteran quarterback, he will, quote, make his life hell every day at practice. And after Wilson was straight up benched, put in street clothes because they didn't want him on the field.
Yep.
So Josh Allen will be your division winner for the next 10 years, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, look at what Josh Allen's pitch to Von Miller was. It was, you get to play against Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, and Tua 6 times this year. That's going to be who we're going against 6 times this year.
He said,
don't you want to come here? And he was like, let's do it. So that's what he thinks of the rest of these quarterbacks. Let's touch base on Mac Jones, actually. So this is something that we had talked about as far as Tom Brady. Like, Josh McDaniels is wet for a New England style quarterback. Mac Jones has kind of come out and been like, I would go to the Raiders. I would go. Josh, help me out here. Like, and I don't blame him whatsoever. Like, to have Matt Patricia being your OC, yeah, we need some help. And he constantly this year, he was pissed. He was yelling on the sidelines. He was yelling on the field. Like, they did not have a cohesive, their game plan was just always choppy. It was not good. It was not a good offense. And so if I was him, I would be livid. And there was reports when he got injured, the Patriots were pushing for, hey, like, you could be back in 4 weeks. And he was like, I don't, like, my doctor says it's like more like 7. So Belichick didn't like that either. Bailey Zappi actually did, reasonably well in his starts and his go-arounds, but not enough to, Wally Pip Mac Jones. And they did ride Bailey Zappi a little bit more than they should have. So it's just a weird, right?
People, supposedly players in the locker room, are siding with Mac Jones on the situation over Belichick.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't make sense. If you're a professional, this guy's never been an OC in his life. What are we doing here?
It's such a weird move by the Patriots too, because you look at like Aaron Rodgers. What's been the complaint? They never give him help. They never add to the offense. Now take that MVP level quarterback, all-time talent, doesn't get any weapons, but you look at him like, hey, you're so great. We think that you can still carry us to playoffs and maybe get lucky in the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. Mac Jones has never been looked at as that type of talent. He's a guy, going in, you're a game manager. You're gonna do just enough to get us by, and maybe we'll make a couple plays here and there, but just don't fuck this up. But to take a guy like that level and say, we're not gonna give you any weapons, what the fuck? Like, we're not going to help you at all. Like, we're not going to get any receivers. Yeah, we'll get some tight ends and we'll run the ball a lot, but like, we're not going to give you a coordinator and we're not going to give you any wide receivers. And then we expect you to produce. And when it doesn't happen, it's kind of like, fuck you.
Well, not even that. It's, hey, when you are actively seeking to get better, when you are actively seeking, hey, let's make a cohesive offense here, we're going to be pissed and we're going to punish you. That's ridiculous.
It's a messed up. I didn't like Mac Jones before this season because I was like, oh well, I didn't think he deserved a Pro Bowl off of those performances. I didn't think he was like special. I don't think he was that great because people were on the 49ers Twitter were saying like, oh, what if we got Mac Jones instead of Trey Lance? And I was still thinking like, I don't think he's that great. But seeing like what he's went through this season and seeing like how he's kind of handling it right now, it's been tough for him. Like there's no fun in that locker room, even when they're winning. And then he has to go out and try to produce. He has to make, as Florio says, uh, was it chicken salad? Make chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Yep.
So it's really tough on. So we don't know what his level of play is, like as a full-time starting quarterback, because we got a borderline Pro Bowl season, and we got this season. So what is it? Is it him? Is it the coaching staff? Is it the players around him? Where do they stand?
Yeah, it's just one of those things. They're gonna have to figure it out, dude. I know they are interviewing OCs this go around, so get Mac Jones some help.
Is Belichick done, bro? Is Belichick done?
I
The
think
level of fucking arrogance to not bring in coaches that are like offensive coordinators and be like, just throw my buddy in there.
it's because no one wanted to be the OC there. Like, really, would you?
You can't tell me you find like a college coach and be like, listen, just come up to the pros.
I
Throw
don't
some
know,
money at
man.
him.
That's a tough go about it. But let's move on to this next one. Who do you want to talk about next?
Zach Wilson, my guy.
Milf Hunter.
Is he going to be there next year? It's a huge question mark. I kept on thinking the year previous, Mike White had something special to him. And whether that's he's just a solid starting quarterback, maybe not a franchise guy, but he put on, I don't know, how do you put like so many games? I know it was only like 2 or 3 handful of games, but how do you put those performances on paper and then this year come in and put in the performances again? The team rallies around you. He just seems to have that it factor to where it's like, hey, why don't we like say fuck this draft status thing and be like, let's give this guy a full season and see what happens.
I think it's the owner. We gotta just kind of say it. Like, I think the team knows they whiffed. I think the front office knows they
The
whiffed.
players know.
But the owner is pushing like, we fucked up, guys. And I don't think you can't fire the head coach. You can't fire the GM because they've hit on so many other draft picks. That team is actually looking really good. The one piece they're missing is their quarterback. So
If
it's
they
like,
had a competent quarterback, they'd be in the playoffs.
yeah, but he's just not. And it's just one of those things, like, what they should do is just cut him. They should cut him. Like, he's that bad. And why
Just
would you
dump
want
him
that
for a pick?
why would you want that in your locker room, bro? Like, nobody likes him.
The
And as
thing, the thing is, to me, is he's been bad. He was really bad this season, to where he's getting benched. He's getting put in street clothes. They don't want him on the field at all, and he still is delusional. Like he hasn't been humble. How have you not been humbled by your performances? By the way the team doesn't come to your defense? Look at how everyone wearing Mike fucking White shirts, and like they don't say anything about you to the media to defend you ever. And then you're gonna say they're asking you, oh well, what if they bring in like a veteran to kind of compete with you for a job? And he's saying, oh, well, I'm gonna make his life hell every day. Like you're hot shit, Zach Wilson. Like, just why don't you just be like, oh well, we're gonna have some healthy competition. We'll make each other better. I hope I can learn from that guy. Instead, you're like, fuck this guy. I'm gonna
yeah,
beat his ass in practice every day. And it's like, bro, you can't even work your way onto the fucking. You can't even dress on game day. That's how bad you're doing.
go
And
read a book.
dude, and Sauce telling you go read a book. And you're saying like any veteran comes in here, they better
This is
watch
game
out,
over.
boy. Because when I'm on that sideline and I gotta give them the signals, I'm not gonna know what the fuck to tell them. Because I ain't read no books. It's just crazy to me that this kid still like. It's like life beats you down a little bit. The league beats you down. The media beats you down, and you humble yourself at a certain point, and he's still not reached that point.
Pretty weird. Pretty weird. Pretty weird. But
Um,
look at Steve Young defending the guy. Do you? It's literally just because he's a BYU quarterback, right?
it has to be, and I mean, you do see like flashes here and there of like some crazy throws that he could make, but that's not all that the NFL is. Like you have to be able to make the thing that we say about Trey Lance that everyone has his knock against Trey Lance. You have to make the layups. You have to make the easy
Yeah.
throws. And this guy couldn't. This guy was sunshine. He was.
Yeah.
You could throw it a mile, but you can't pitch it a yard. Like, bro, you're struggling to hit screens, to hit wide receiver screens, to hit running back screens. Like you can't throw it 5 yards and you're making dumb decisions. You're running around trying to do the most. We don't want that from you anymore. Like, just figure it out. Read a book. Read the
Yeah. And
playbook.
even then, it's like have some EQ, like figure out what makes your teammates like at least like you a little bit more. Come on, bud. Like eventually you're gonna have to build some chemistry with these guys, and it feels like he just never did. Like it's so weird.
This is the one guy, on draft day, the thing they always say, like, oh, no one went to his birthday party. This is the one guy where I feel like it's true. Like, other quarterbacks, if you say no one went to like Tom Brady's birthday party, I'd be like, yeah, he's just didn't care to invite or whatever. So whatever. Zach Wilson, I'm like,
Yikes.
I don't think he, when you like, oh yeah, invite some friends and you open your phone real quick, you're like, oh
He's going
man,
through the weather app. They didn't answer.
he didn't text anyone. He's just like flipping through his calculator, and then he's like, "Oh, all my friends are busy, bro. They're out of town." Like, bro, I got no friends.
Yeah. So I think they should cut him. Like, just cut him and roll with Mike White, bro. Like, you don't need to have that guy in the locker room.
I'd like to see Zach Wilson go to like the Panthers or something and try to make something happen.
He just needs a full reset. Like, he's lost the locker room. I don't see how you go back in there and be like, guys, I'm ready to make your life hell. You know what I mean?
Because we're like, Zach, you made all of last season hell for us. Don't worry, buddy.
But like, I think a fresh start would be nice for him. Whether it be the Panthers, whether he go to Seattle, like they're, you know what I mean, if they could get him on a cheap contract, maybe they
Atlanta,
roll
possibly.
the dice.
Houston.
Houston might go for it.
Yeah. But I mean, only time will tell. Did you want to touch on two? I know we talked about him in a previous video a little bit. The guy keeps on getting concussed. Fifth year
It's
option looming.
it's not his fault, but like, yeah, I don't think you can pick up that fifth year option. Like, there's no way. I think you have to let it play out, see if he can be healthy for at least the majority of a season, and then you make your decision from there. But as of right now, like, it's the Tua era has been just so weird. Couldn't really see the field this first season. Kept getting, they did that Fitzpatrick thing where they were pulling him. It was just weird. Then he gets to go around. He's, kind of banged up. This year was an ultimate PR nightmare for the Dolphins. They kept rolling him out there, but yeah, I don't think you can pick up his fifth year option. I think you got to let it play out.
I just don't know how good Tua really is. Like McDaniels came in, McDaniel dropped the S. Um, he had him looking like, I don't want to say MVP level,
But
but
he looked good.
he looked fucking good.
We were both laughing at him this entire offseason because of the like under and throwing ball to Tyreek, and they were building him up and building him up and building him up. We were eating our words. He actually looked really, really good at times this season.
But ever since I'll say ever since the 49ers game,
Yeah.
Brock Purdy comes in and looks amazing. And that whole game, Dolphins probably should have won that game. I'm just gonna be real. But if you watch that game from beginning to end, Tua was off on so many throws. It wasn't so much of like the defense getting pressure. Like he was straight up missing guys.
Yeah.
And he just never got the magic back. And then of course, yeah, Brock Purdy got the offense rolling. 49ers started scoring a lot. But if you watch that game, like Tua was off so much. And you kept being like, oh, even the commentators, like, when's he gonna settle down? and lock in and make some plays, like he's just missing wide open guys. And the rest of the season, it was like, okay, yeah, he got concussion, but then he tries to come back. He's still not looking accurate. He gets another concussion. It's scary, and his play fell off along with his health. It's scary. I I'd question Tua's like career now. Like, can he be healthy? He's a smaller guy. How many more really bad concussions can he get?
Yeah, if anything, like he's gonna go out and do it because what else are you gonna do at this point? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but if I was him, I would look for I would see if I could start this season. If not, if they bring in, let's say, a Tom Brady or they bring in someone else, do the Mitch Trubisky route. Just be a backup for a year or two. Try to figure things out. Then when you go back to be like you're on the market again, you look hot. It's like, holy shit. Remember Tua? Like, when you put up some game tape, you looked good. So, like, that's what I would do if I was Tua. I would be more inclined to take that backup route.
Yeah, I mean, there's not going to be any shortage of quarterback needy teams,
Yeah.
and he's still young, so
Get a couple seasons, figure out your health, and then roll it out from there. But because at the end of the day, like, is it really worth it? Is it going to be worth it to, trot out there if you're not all the way healthy? No, it's not. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not. No matter what, it's not going to be worth it. So, but I just think from the Dolphins' point of view, you cannot pick up that 5th-year option unless he has a full-out healthy season. And if they say this offseason, hey, you know what? He's been checked multiple times. He's good to go. We feel comfortable. He feels comfortable with it. You start him and you see what you have,
yeah, you got to have a full season Tua and see really, is he a franchise quarterback? And then you look at the rest of the AFC, and is he good enough to beat these other guys? Because it's loaded.
Yeah.
And if he's not, then respectfully let him walk and see if he can go somewhere else and really restart his career. I think every quarterback should be looking at Geno Smith and like not be so down on their situation. Because
Oh,
at any
yeah.
point you can come back and really turn your career around and make a lot of money. I mean, at the
Well,
end of the
not
day,
even that. The chance to play, like, look at now he's going to be in the record books for the Seattle Seahawks.
that's what I'm saying.
Like, that's a guy who he was just ready. He was waiting for it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, at the end of the day, you want to show out when you get your opportunity so you can make a lifetime amount of money on that next contract and like really secure your career for the next couple years. And Geno Smith, I think, did that after everyone, like, remember when he tried to come be the starter in New York and people were like rioting, man, they were going crazy because Eli Manning. But
Yeah.
yeah, anyone could go be a backup and come back and be a starter. So if Tua has to do it at some point, shouldn't take that as a knock. Just try to get better.
And I mean, look at the league now. We had a record amount of quarterbacks start games in the NFL this season. That's not a trend that I see as like, oh, it's just it was an off year. No, I think that's going to happen, especially with the added game, with the way that practice is now limited. I think that all factors into guys are just going to get hurt.
Yeah, that's saying next year, any quarterback going into a backup situation should be looking at it as an opportunity because you might get called at any point in the season to come play. Look how many backup quarterbacks played.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield for sure is going to be a guy that's like, hey, we might bring you in as a backup, but you might end up starting like 10 games for us.
Yeah, for sure.
And Tua might be in that similar situation in a year or two.
We'll see, man. Again, I'm pretty interested to see like if he gets checked off and everything's good to go for this off season, and hopefully it's a full season of Tua next year. Hopefully none of this concussion stuff, and he just rides off and he ends up making a bag. Like, that'd be best case scenario because he looked awesome at certain points this season.
Yeah, you guys go ahead and comment who's the best quarterback in the AFC East other than Josh Allen. Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, or Tua? Let us know. And go ahead and like and subscribe.
All right, later.